Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Miss Coffee here. And today we're doing our whip and chat. Whip stands for work in progress. So get out whatever that is for you. Work along with me as I tell you some stories of the coffee house shenanigans. Now, I hope you all had a wonderful long weekend, as here in the States we celebrated Labor Day, when in fact it's just another excuse to have a day off work and we just go barbecue and do stuff. But unfortunately for us, we weren't able to do so. So let's get right into it. So Saturday, I did a 15-hour live stream. It was only supposed to be 12, but it was like a 15-hour live stream celebration of when I hit 3K over on Twitch and hitting partner over on Twitch. So we did like a little celebration stream, and it really wiped me out. Like, I was so tired, and I didn't understand it at first because I was like, why am I so goddamn on tired? Well, it wasn't until the next day I woke up, I realized that it had been raining, and that's why I was so tired. So if you're like me, when it rains, your energy is just depleted and you're just exhausted. And so I'm sitting there Sunday and I'm like half dead on the couch, and I wake up and I'm like, whoa, why am I still on the couch? Now, usually if I fall asleep on the couch, Mr. Coffee will pick me up and take me upstairs, or he'll wake me up and kind of like guide me upstairs. And he didn't. So I was like, dude, why are we sleeping on the couch? Like, I look over and he's also asleep on the couch. And I assumed that he possibly fell asleep or ate something. And he woke up and he's just like, oh, well, good morning. And I was like, morning. Why are we on the couch? And he's like, sorry, I didn't have the energy to pick you up, nor did I have the energy to pick myself up. And I didn't want you to be by yourself. So I just stayed down here with you. And I was like, okay. So apparently we just slept on the couch, which of course, being older now, sleeping on the couch hurts. Where does it hurt? Everywhere. Like, y'all, I swear, my neck had such a crick in it from sleeping on that freaking couch. Now, the couch is comfortable because it has a recliner, and he did give me my blankie, and he reclined the seat back for me so I could get comfortable. Problem is, it's not comfortable. There's nothing you can do to make a couch comfortable. And I'm just sitting there like, I hurt. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. He goes, where do you hurt? I'm like, everywhere. And so I go to get up, and then here comes Maggie. She's a ball of energy first thing in the morning. She's like, good morning, Mommy. I'm like, good morning, Maggie. I haven't even had my coffee yet. Jesus. And she's like, can I go outside? I'm like, ma'am, it's 9 a.m. It's 9 a.m. She's like, can I go outside though? And I'm like, it's a little early to go outside, don't you think? As soon as I say that, the doorbell rings. And I'm like, who the hell's at the door this early in the morning? It's her friends. Can Maggie come outside? I'm like, what is wrong with you nightmare humans? You tiny, tiny little nightmare humans. Why don't you sleep in on Saturdays? You just completed your first full week back to school, and your first thought at 9 a.m. on a Sunday is to get up early. Meanwhile, Saturday, when I had to get up early, oh no, everybody slept in. But Sunday, when Mommy wants to sleep in, everybody named Mama want to be up outside playing and having a good time and getting their 50 chuckles in, and I'm trying to sleep and get some rest because I'm exhausted from the day before. So I was like, you know what? Fine, go outside. So she's like, yay. And I'm like, wait a minute. Did you clean your room? Now, we have not been having as many issues with Maggie cleaning her room lately as we used to. And I actually have a surprise for Maggie. So Maggie has been complaining about the amount of stuff in her room. She doesn't like how many like toys that she has or anything like this. She's suffering from some first world problems. She has accumulated so much stuff that she wants to kind of like de-stash it. The problem is also you're gonna hear lawnmowers in the background because they were off yesterday too, so they're working today. So I do apologize if you have to hear that in the background. But the problem is she has accumulated so much stuff now that it literally just makes her room look cluttered all the time. And she, you know, is like, Mommy, can we get rid of this stuff? And so I decided that for her birthday, which is coming up on the 12th, for her birthday, we're going to go into her room while she's at school, which I think the 12th is on a school day. If it's not, it's the day before she gets out of school for the weekend or whatnot. Because, yeah, the 12th is, the 15th is Friday, 14, 13, 12. So that's like a Tuesday or a Wednesday. I'm going to go up there and I'm going to clear out her room of all her old toys except for like a handful that she still does play with. And the rest of it is getting chucked in the trash. Now, why don't I donate it? Because she is not gentle with her things. There is marker, there is hair cut off of half her Barbies. So it would make 0 sense to donate them when they're not in good shape. So, yeah. So, we're also deciding that for her birthday, we're going to get her a bike. She has enough books. She has enough everything else. So, we're going to get her a bike for her birthday because her bike is currently too small. Because of this, I was like, what is something that we can get her for her birthday that she's actually going to use? And again, like I said, she has plenty of books. I'm not going to waste my time getting her books. Sorry, I need some more of that color. I'm not going to waste my time getting her books or anything like that. So I was like, what else can I get her? I want her to have something that she's actually going to use and not throw up on a shelf and forget about it in 20 minutes. So, so I was like, let's get her a bike because she'll have a little bit of time before winter actually hits before she could play with it. So I was like, we're going to go ahead and get her a bike. So Mr. Coffee was like, all right, we have it set up where he'll pick it up on his way home from work that day. If he goes into work that day, I don't know if he's taking off for that day or not. I doubt it because, she's going to be at school most of the day and I'm going to be cleaning and Mr. Coffee ain't about that life. So he'll probably end up going into work. Sorry, my echo is going off back there. So she gets up and she immediately wants to go outside. So I go upstairs to check her room to make sure her room is clean because we all know Maggie suffers from diabetes. And so I then go, okay, your room is clean. You can go outside, just get dressed. And she goes, okay. So she gets dressed. She goes outside. Now I'm hem-hawing around the house because I'm exhausted still. I'm still, head is foggy. I've been having a lot of trouble with my asthma for the last couple of weeks. And to the point where like I'm waking up having asthma attacks and stuff like that. So like I've been trying to take it a little easy, and even during my stream I could feel like my chest starting to tighten up, and I had to hit my inhaler a couple of times during my stream because I could just feel my chest getting tight. And usually for me that means, okay, something's about to happen because you can't breathe. So I am sitting there and I'm like, okay, let's go ahead. Sorry, I'm trying to get my trash boat out here. I was like, let's go ahead and get up and get the day started. So Mr. Coffee gets up, we feed the ferrets, we clean out the ferret cage, we give some loving to the ferrets. Ryan comes down shortly after and he's like, do I need to walk the dogs? And Mr. Coffee's like, no, I got it. So he walks the dogs, I help get Orion some breakfast, and then we sit back down. And I was like, I want to go play my game. Now, again, I've been completely obsessed with this game. So, of course, you know, now that I have all my stuff done, and I deep cleaned on Thursday or Friday last week. So, like, the house was pretty much clean. It just needed spot cleaning here and there. And after we got all that done, I decided, okay, I'm going to go sit on my game for a little bit. So I go sit on my game. After 10 minutes, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not feeling this right now. I really just want to go sit down on the recliner. So I go back to the living room. And as I go to sit down, Maggie knocks at the front door. And I'm like, why the hell is she knocking at the front door? What usually happens is we give her a key card, but the last time we did that, she lost it. She lost the key card at the playground or somewhere. She's not sure where she lost it, but for, you know, however long, she could not find it. And so I was like, God dang it. So she doesn't have a key card now. So now she has to, you know, keep the door open in the back door. We unlock it for her so she can come in and out. So the fact that she knocked at the front door and she already knew that the back door was unlocked, I was like, you know, what's wrong that she can't open the back door? Well, she comes in and she's bleeding. And when I say she's bleeding, her mouth is bleeding, her legs are bleeding, her arms are bleeding. And I'm like, what the flip? So she had asked earlier in the afternoon, like after like being outside for like, I don't know, 30 minutes, she came back in and asked could she go up to the big playground with her friends and their mom. And I was like, you know what, fine, that's fine. you know, just be careful walking up there, because I know Maggie likes to run around all the time. So I was like, you know, just be careful. So she says, okay, she leaves out, comes back 45 minutes later, and she's bleeding. And I freak out. I immediately take her, grab her, pick her up, throw her in the kitchen, and start like getting her cleaned up, asking her what happened. She's not crying or anything. She's just limping around and stuff. So I was like, what happened? Apparently, as they were walking, they decided to race down the street. She tripped over a rock and fell and slid on the road. So luckily she doesn't have any road rash or anything, but she busted up underneath her lip. She scraped both arms, like on her forearms right here. Both knees very badly scraped from her, like, I guess when she fell to her knees and then slid. And then she scraped one of her ankles, and it's bruised pretty good. Like, she has a pretty decent sized bruise on it. And like, the girl's mom comes over and she profusely apologizes to me. She's like, I tried to clean her up the best I could at home, but she just wanted to come home so you could do it. And I'm like, I appreciate you bringing her by. I kind of closed the door on that lady, because that's the lady that I don't really like too much. And so I was like, yeah, we're going to take a break from them again, because this is a little redonkulous, because she didn't bring her home directly after it happened. She waited, tried to clean her up herself so that we wouldn't freak out. And I'm like, obviously you don't know me. My middle name is Freak Out. Okay, I freak out over any and all things. So I was like, especially when it comes to my kids. So I was a little upset that it took her a while to bring my daughter home. And then when she did, Maggie came home by herself, and then the lady came, like, I don't know, 20 minutes later to explain what happened. And I was like, whatever. And I just kind of closed the door. And so I told Maggie, I'm like, we're going to take a break from going outside for the rest of the weekend. Plus, we have plans, because we had planned on going to the lake to go fishing and have dinner. So I was like, we have plans anyways for tomorrow. So, like, we're just going to have you rest for the next couple of days, because she's limping around pretty good. To the point where this morning, I had to write a note to her teacher, letting her teacher know that she will not be participating in PE this week due to the fact that she can barely walk straight, let alone be running and jumping in PE. And I know she was partly putting on a show, because, like, whenever I wasn't around or she didn't think I was looking, she was walking. She was still limping, but not as bad. Like, when somebody's watching her, she's limping as if her leg's about to fall off. Meanwhile, if she doesn't think you're watching, she's not limping that bad. She's just, you know, there's a minor limp, but she is still limping. And I'm still sitting there like, it can't feel good. And I don't want her to do PE or anything. And, you know, if something is wrong, I don't want her to mess up something. So I was like, you know, I don't have a problem with you sitting out PE this week, but, like, you know, you have to start being more careful and watching where you're going and stop running everywhere. And she's like, I know, I'm sorry. I'm like, don't apologize, but just be careful. I'm like, mommy told you to be careful, because this happens all the time. Maggie is very prone to falling and hurting herself. So this happens often. And another reason, again, why I told her to be careful. So she's all banged up. Orion sees her, and he's ready to fight. He's like, what happened? Did they beat her up? Do I need to go outside? And I'm like, sir, stop. No, she fell. And he's like, oh, you okay, Maggie? And she's like, yeah, my legs just really hurt. He goes, okay. So Orion goes downstairs, grabs her an ice pack, gives her an ice pack for her ankles and her knees. And then he turns her TV on and gives her remote. And then he goes back to his cave. Meanwhile, I'm sitting downstairs, and I'm still tired, and it's like a dreary day outside. Like, it's just really gray. And I didn't pick up on it at first. I just thought it was a rainy day. So I was like, I really hope that this, you know, overcast sky thing passes before tomorrow, because I would really like to go to the lake. And Mr. Coffee's like, yeah, I think it'll be fine. He's like, it says it's supposed to rain in about an hour. Sorry about that. They're cutting the grass today. But he's like, yeah, I think it's supposed to rain in about an hour. We should be fine to go tomorrow. Don't even worry about it. So I was like, all right. Well, The rest of the evening went off without a hitch. Mr. Coffee's like, why don't we order pizza tonight? Because you look exhausted. Like, you look like you need to rest. Please rest today. Do not try to stream again or anything of the sorts. He goes, you have to remember, you are not pushing for partner anymore, so you don't need to stream as much. He goes, I know you love it. He goes, but I don't want you to get sick of it. So, why don't you rest for today? And I was like, okay. So I decided to rest, and he ordered a pizza, and we decided to just sit in and catch a movie, which we watched Willy Wonka. We watched Willy Wonka. Because I gave the kids a choice between Titanic, because that's a project that Orion is doing, or we could watch Willy Wonka. And they decided we were going to watch Willy Wonka, and we watched the old school version with Gene Wilder. Now, if you're from Twitch, you already know what I'm about to say. If you're not from Twitch, if you don't watch us over on Twitch, if you would like to watch us over on Twitch, I'm live over there 4 days a week. And it's a great time. And we have like community game nights. We play Mario Kart. We play Jackbox. We play all kinds of things. I play a lot of Palia. So feel free to come hang out with us. But if you don't know, I need you to do me a favor, right? My friend Jomio also is a fan of Willy Wonka. But Jomio has this perception in his brain that Johnny Depp played a better Willy Wonka than Gene Wilder. And so I need you to do me a favor, and in the comments of this video, tell me who played a better Willy Wonka, Johnny Depp or the original Willy Wonka that I know of, which is Gene Wilder. Just write. Feel free to leave multiple comments on this video in case I ask multiple questions. I just need your opinion on this so I can then take this back to Jomio and show him. So we watched a movie with the kids, and then everybody just kind of camped out in the living room chit-chatting, and we were going to play cards, but everybody was too tired to get up and play, so we just sat and talked for a little bit while, I was doing some drawing, and Orion was doing some stuff with Maggie. Like, there's this app called Magna, I think it's Magna, and on the app, it allows the kids to draw on their tablets, but they can draw together. So, I would give them, a little prompt, draw a carrot holding a staff, and they would have to draw it. And so that's essentially how Saturday ended up going. And then Monday came. Sorry, so that was Saturday was the 15-hour stream. Sunday was Maggie getting hurt. And then here comes Monday. So Monday comes, and Mr. Coffee gets called into work again. And I'm like, we're not going to go out to the lake, are we? And he goes, no matter what happens, because I kept saying it because I really wanted to go. And anytime I really want to go somewhere, something happens that prevents us from going. So he's like, come hell or high water, we're going to the lake. And I was like, okay, well then don't take too long, because he got called into work. I was like, then don't take too long at work because, I want to leave out at a decent time before it gets too crowded. So he goes, okay, no problem. He goes into work. He's gone for maybe 2 hours. He comes back. He goes, see, not a big deal. We still have plenty of time. So I was like, all right. So then we started getting ready a couple hours later to get ready to head out to the lake. Right as we go to get ready to head out to the lake, I see thunder. And I'm like, well, nope, we're waiting it out. And he's like, waiting what out? I'm like, I saw thunder. And he's like, are you serious? And I was like, yes, I'm serious. Why would I lie about that? And so he's like, all right, fine. We'll wait it out. So we waited another hour or so. And then he goes, okay, I think we're safe. The thunder seems to have passed. Let's go ahead and get, the car loaded up so we can go. So we start loading the car up. And immediately when I go outside, my throat starts getting scratchy. Okay. And it looks overcast to hell. And I was like, why is it so gloomy out here? Also, somebody doesn't know how to barbecue because it smells like something is burning out here. Literally smells like a campfire outside. And I was like, what? Who is burning their dinner? Somebody needs to check their dinner because it's burning. And because it was so smoky, I thought one of my neighbors was cooking dinner and just wasn't watching it. And so I start coughing and I go back in the house. My eyes are all red. My nose is starting to run. My face is starting to get all weird. And I'm like, yeah, we got to hurry up and go because I can't breathe. And he's like, okay, grab your inhaler, put it in your bag just in case. and you know, we're gonna head out because I've been my inhaler as of late has been like on me 24/7 because of the fact that I've been having issues with my breathing. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, we're all packed up, ready to go. And I'm like, I really hope that this smoke clears up soon because we've already left the house. We've gone 10 minutes out and it's still smoky as crap outside. So I was like, I really hope this stuff breaks up soon because I'm not going to be able to stand outside in this. We get about 25 minutes out and immediately it felt like, it was almost instant. It felt like somebody was squeezing my lungs and I couldn't take a deep breath. So I immediately pull out my inhaler. He pulls off to the side of the road. He goes, are you okay? I'm trying my damnedest to play off the fact that I literally felt like almost instantaneously like I couldn't breathe. We did have the windows down to kind of let the air circulate, but it was so freaking foggy outside. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Now take it. When that happens, it wipes you out. It really, really wipes you out. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know, I'm playing off the fact that I literally feel exhausted. My head hurts and I'm still having a little bit of trouble breathing. And I'm like, it's fine, just keep going. We get about another 5 minutes out and I literally felt like I was going to pass out. And I was like, okay, no, turn around, let's go home, something's wrong. And so he's like, okay. And the kids are in the back seat and they're like, oh, and Maggie's like, good, because my leg really hurts and I want to just lay down. And I was like, okay, we're going to go home. So then we only got like 25 minutes out before we decided to head back home. And then on the way home, Orion starts coughing. And then he starts saying about how he's having trouble breathing. And I'm like, something's wrong. And Mr. Coffee's like, what the hell's going on? Why is, you know, everybody's asthma acting up? So we get back to the house and Mr. Coffee looks it up. And here we find out that not only are we battling Canadian fires above us, but we're also battling fires to the west of us from Montana. And that is the reason it looks so foggy. Literally, I can't see. Today, I can see my neighbor's house back, like behind my house. Yesterday, we couldn't see the highway from my house, which is like, I don't know, 10 miles away or something like that. Usually you can see it. We couldn't see it. We couldn't see our neighbor's house down the way from our house. Like there's like a big patch of nothing in front of our house. Like it's my yard, the road, a big wide open piece of land, and then there's a row of houses beyond that piece of land, and then way out far there's like a farm, and then like the highway. And usually on a clear day you can see all of that, no problem. We haven't seen that in 3 days. The air quality is so bad that I literally have to wear a mask to go outside because it's so bad. And I'm not talking about like one of the cloth masks that we wore during the Rona. I'm talking about one of the like masks that you wear when you spray paint. Because I literally cannot breathe outside right now. And the air quality is messing with my lungs. And I went to the doctor last week and they gave me another inhaler. But by the time we hit town, we had to go get breathing treatments because Orion was pretty much like me, almost gasping for air because we couldn't breathe. And so then when we finally made it back home, Maggie hobbles upstairs and she's like, I'm going to go lay down. And I was like, okay. So she goes and lays down. Orion's like, I'm also going to lay down. I am really tired. And I was like, yeah, dude, go lay down. Mr. Coffee's like, what should I make for dinner then? I'm like, I'll make dinner. Just let me have a moment to get my head right and I'll make dinner. And he goes, are you sure I can do it? And I was like, no. One, I forgot that Mr. Coffee didn't have a male role model growing up. And why is that pertinent to anything? Because he doesn't know how to use a grill. Now, growing up, my dad cooked, like, barbecued, like, almost every weekend. Okay? So I know how to use a grill. And I assumed that Mr. Coffee did too. But the last time I assumed that he knew how to use one was Mother's Day. And he went to go put something on the grill. And our ribs turned into pretty much... They had gotten real burnt. And they were like inedible. Like you could not eat them. So he's like, I don't know how to use a grill. And I guess he was a little embarrassed because, you know, he's a guy, so he's supposed to like inherently know how to use a grill, but he didn't, and he didn't want to tell me anything. Now, we've had grills before, but I never noticed that he always let his friends use the grills to like grill food when they were here, and he never did. Here, he just never learned how to properly use a grill. And I was like, why didn't I think of that? Now I feel bad because I didn't think of the fact that you didn't have a male role model to show you how to use a grill. And so I decided that the last time we cooked something, which was another holiday that I can't remember right now, I was trying to show him how to properly use a grill. And I was like, you know what? I'll do it. Because I don't want my food to be burnt up. I would actually like to eat food. So I was like, I'm going to do it myself. So we go to pull out the grill. And he goes, I don't think it's a good idea if we grill, because with your asthma right now and you not being able to breathe and just having that really bad asthma attack and the breathing treatments, he goes, I don't think we should grill outside today. And I'm like, fine, then I'll grill on the inside of the house. And he goes, I don't think grilling's a good idea with your asthma right now. And I was like, well, fine, I'll find another way to make ribs. So I boiled them and then put them in the oven. Now, I don't like doing it that way. It works still. It's still delicious. But I don't like doing them that way. It doesn't have the same like taste and effect as it would if you put it on the grill. So I was a little upset that I couldn't grill because, one, the air quality was really bad outside. Two, I didn't want to fill the house with smoke from grilling on my little grill that I have on for the inside of the house. And so I was like, God dang it. So we ended up going to the lake. We find out when we get home that it's because of wildfires all around us. His friend was going to meet us out there. They got all the way out there before his wife told them to turn around and it's like a 20 to 30 minute drive, maybe 45 minutes depending on traffic. And his wife, they got all the way there, and it was so bad that the lake that we were going to was closed anyway. Like, they had the thing closed off because the air quality was literally so bad. They suggested that nobody sit outside. And so they ended up turning around, and he goes, hey, I don't know if you guys are still on the road, but you're going to want to turn around because the lake's closed. And I'm like, how the hell is a whole lake closed? And they're like, because the air quality literally is that bad out there. Like, it's really bad. And so Mr. Coffee's like, no, we've already come home. You know, he was saying that me and Orion had really bad asthma attacks just getting there. And the guy's like, are y'all okay? And I'm like, yeah, we're fine. It's just the air quality is just so bad. And so, it just wasn't meant to be. It was not meant to be for us to go to the lake. And I'm okay with that because, of course, my health comes first. But it's like, even now, I'm exhausted. Like, I thought about canceling my Whip and Chat for this week because I am just so freaking tired. And I was in bed before 1 a.m. last night. And I slept very well, had a really weird dream, but I slept really well. And I still woke up this morning, like, completely exhausted. Like, my body is just drained of all energy. It's not raining out. I do have to use, like, the light in my craft room today because it's literally so smogged outside that the sun can't even shine through all the smoke. So it's really dreary outside today, and I'm thinking that's another reason why my energy is so drained. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so freaking tired. So today hopefully won't be too rough of a day, but we'll see. I did get to do some sketching that I needed to get done. I got a new sticker design that I made up and finished and finalized yesterday. It was a productive weekend, but also kind of disappointing because we couldn't get out to the lake. But that lake ain't going nowhere. It'll be there for the next holiday. And right now, the kids will have break coming up soon for fall, because now that's a thing for some reason. Like, I don't remember the kids having fall break a few years ago, but now all of a sudden they have fall break. And I'm like, what the hell is fall break? First it was winter break, which that's for Christmas. Now they have fall break, which they just started like 2 years ago. where the kids are off for a week during the fall. And I'm not complaining about it, believe me, I'm not, because that's a week that I don't have to get up early to take them to school. But I'm like, what the hell is fall break now? Like, do you guys have fall break where you are at? Because I don't remember there being fall break back in the day. Oh, also, I was super excited. I got a hold of DAC's little thin 6-placer. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. So I went ahead and, like, for my birthday, they sent me, like, the birthday coupon, and like, happy birthday, here's a 20% off coupon for a diamond painting kit, or off our website. So instead of buying a kit that I know I don't need, I went and bought multi-placers. So now I should have the single placer, the 2-placer, 3-placer, and the 6-placer. So the other 2 should be here today, I believe. So I was excited to at least get those, because that 3-placer was selling out really quick. And I was like, I didn't even know these things existed until someone, like, had a picture of one. And we did, because we also do what we call whip parades over on Twitch, which is where we show off what you're working on. You can tell us a little bit about it, and, you know, it gives people an idea of, like, what the projects look like and stuff. And so we were doing a whip parade, and somebody showed the multi-placer, and I was just like, oh, snap. Let me go see about this multi-placer, because, okay, another question. Again, feel free to leave multiple responses on this video. I do not care. I will let you know right now that my comment section is messed up. Messed up not on your end, but on my end. Meaning my YouTube studio is not telling me when I get comments, and then when I do, they're very old. So they're like 3 or 4 days old. And you guys know I'm usually right on top of my comments. I always have been. I always will be as long as I can. So I've been trying to go in at least every like 30 to 45 minutes to check to see if I have any comments. So if I miss one of your comments, I do apologize. But feel free to leave multiple, and maybe that'll trigger it to start like telling me when I have comments. I don't even remember what I was about to ask you. Okay, hold on. Okay. So I think what I was going to ask you was, do you have fall break for your, like, if you have kids, do y'all have fall break for your kids? Leave that down in the comment section. So yeah. Also, another question. Do you prefer the plastic multi-placers or the metal tip multi-placers? So I very much prefer the plastic. Now, I break these things often. So often, I don't even know where it's at. So often that, what's that lady's name? I don't even remember her name. Shine Like a Diamond, I think is her name, sent me a container filled with 15 placers because I like them so much, but I also break them a lot. So she sent me like a container filled with them. And so I've been using those a lot. Let me make sure that's the right number. I've already mixed one bag of colors already on this. So this is a 70 by 90, by the way. This is self-empowerment. This is my design coming from Enabler's Outpost. So this is my second kit that has come out with the Diamond Painting Company. The first one came out with DAC, which was Angel Roxy. And now this is the second one. We have the letter T. I did finish up, I don't know if I said it, but I did finish up Ravenclaw Crest. I did finish that kit. It was amazing. It did have some kind of junky drills, like some of the drills were really stuck together for some reason. But other than that, it was a joy to work on. I didn't have any really major issues. I don't typically do product reviews of DAC anymore because we all kind of know that DAC is really good. They have issues every once in a while. If there is an issue, I usually tell you guys in these whipping chats. So you pretty much already get an idea of what a kit's going to be like to work on when I do it like this. Now, if it's a newer company, then yes, I will do like a product review of it. But DAC, I do so many DACs. It's just my favorite company to work on. So I do so many of them that I stopped reviewing, like doing post reviews of them. Because unless there's something major, we already know it's going to be the same thing, just a different video with a different picture in it. And let's see here. I'm looking for a particular symbol. I'm looking for that symbol. Oh, I already had it out. So yeah. So I did finish Ravenclaw Crest, so I was super happy about that. I need to probably have the... I wanted to complete the Fox from Jaded Gem's shop. The problem is I also don't like the converted cross stitch. I learned in the little bit that I did do that I hate it. I do not like it. No. I very much need my symbols on my canvas. And right now, I'm craving doing a square. Do you ever crave to do a certain shape in diamond painting? There's another question for you. I am craving a round drill canvas like nobody's business. I've been doing a lot of squares lately, and I love squares. I love squares. But after doing so many of them, I start craving rounds. And right now, I'm really, really craving rounds. I really want to do a round kit, which is why when I got Genesis 2, when I got Genesis 2 and I unboxed it, I immediately wanted to work on it. Now, it was voted upon on Twitch, which kit did I do, whether it be to start Genesis, finish Ravenclaw, or work on it, this kit here. And so the vote won for me to finish Ravenclaw, and I'm glad that I did finish it, because that's one less whip that I have, and that one can go in the books now. So Ravenclaw crest is now done. It is beautiful, had 8 colors, and it was a joy to work on, minus it had some drills that were stuck together, which of course if you have a drill grinder you can get those apart, no big deal. It did have some static in it, which is again just slightly annoying, and so I put dryer sheets in my drills so that they, you know, weren't so staticky anymore. So yeah, so there's that. Sorry, I am so tired. And then even this morning when I went to go take the kids to school, the air quality was still pretty bad out, and I gave Orion his inhaler and gave him a mask to wear. Now his mask isn't like the mask that I have, but it's a little bit, it's like a kid's version of it, like a kid's version of a paint mask with the ventilators on the side. It's like a little kid version, and he's to wear it whenever he has to walk between classes and stuff because the air quality is bad. And I told him if he didn't want to wear it, that's fine, but he's going to have to make sure he has his inhaler on him because he has to walk back and forth between class or between schools in the morning and the evening, or in the afternoon. So I don't want him to like have any problems when he's on his way to like his first period class, or when he's on his way to like his last 2 classes of the day. So I told him, you know, just make sure you have your inhaler and stuff. With Maggie, I tried to get her to walk normally this morning with her leg messed up, and she's still limping. Like, and it's not just the I'm gonna play to get sympathy limp. It's literally you could tell she's in some pain. She doesn't want to go outside and play. She really didn't want to go to school today, and I was half tempted to keep her home. Then I was like, no, I want her to go to school because I don't want her to think that she can just take off school for any little minor inconvenience. And she doesn't have to walk from class to class. I think the only classes that she has to do walk from is from lunch to PE or music or whatever. Other than that, she doesn't have to go too far to, you know, go to class, because her class is all the same teacher except for like 2 or 3 periods where she flops every other couple of days. So I did have her go to school today to see how she did. Hopefully she'll be moving around, because she'll be forced to move around a little bit more because she does have to get from class to lunch and everything else. So I'm hoping that she feels a little bit better, because she's doing that thing where she doesn't want to move it and it's getting stiff. And so I was like, no, you got to move it around or it's going to get stiff on you. And of course she wouldn't move around, so it starts getting stiff on her. So I'm hoping that by the time she comes home, I'm not expecting her to have the same energy, but just a little bit more energy than she's had. Okay. Sorry about that. Again, breathing hurts. So last thing before we go for the day. Can we talk about passwords for a second? Now, don't ever put your password in chat or anything like that. Like, don't do that. But can we talk about how bad my memory is with my passwords? One, what is a good app to use to save passwords? Because in the day that we live, you have to have a good storage space to keep your passwords, because I don't know anybody that just off the top of their head remembers all of their passwords. At least I don't, okay? So I can't speak for everybody. I can say I don't. So I was trying to log into my JCPenney's app the other day, because the last time I tried to use my JCPenney's card, it got declined. And I didn't understand why, because I literally had just paid it off 2 days prior, went to go try to use it, and it was declined. And they were like, you need to call the number. And I'm like, why? And they're like, we're not sure. It just tells us that you need to call the number. So I was like, okay. Well, I forgot about it. And then I was like, oh, let me check the, thing. And I go to type in the password, and it's wrong. And then I go, okay, after like 5 or 6 attempts, it locks you out. So I was like, okay, I only have a certain number of tries to do this before it locks me out. So let me make sure like I'm putting in the correct password. Nope. Could not remember my password. So I was like, God dang it. So I go to reset the password. And why is it that whenever you go to reset the password, you guess the password that you use? Because it was like, sorry, you can't use the same password. Okay, well then let me cancel and put in the correct password. So then I canceled, try to put in the correct password, and it was like, no, wrong password. God dang it. So then I was like, okay, forgot password. Chose a completely different password. I wrote it down, and then I lost the paper. And so I get in, and I'm looking, and I don't have a balance or anything. So I'm like, why the hell can't I use my JCPenney's card? Now, I needed to buy some stuff from JCPenney's because Orion likes his Reebok socks from JCPenney's. So I went to go buy him his socks. And, of course, you guys know Orion is... He's turning into a little guy real fast. Like, he's turning into a little guy real fast. I don't like it, but it's part of life. So he wears, like, grown men's socks now. And, I'm like, why are your socks more expensive than mine? It's like, I wear Walmart specials. I don't even care because I don't even like socks, okay? I'm not a sock person. So I was like, I don't even like socks. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay. So I called JCPenney's and I go, hey, heads up, I can't use my card. I paid off my balance and I don't know what's going on. So they're like, let us take a look at it. And they're like, oh, it looks like you need to verify your income. Now, I hate when they do this because my income is wonky because my income depends on views and subscriptions. So I was like, my income really hasn't changed since the last time I did it. So I'm not sure what your guys are looking for, but it hasn't changed. And they're like, well, we just want to make sure that you're getting the best, credit line that we can give you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, the credit line I have, I'm pretty happy with. You don't have to change it. You don't have to add more to it. You don't have to take any away from it. I'm paying the bill on time. So, like, can we just leave the credit line alone? And so they verify my information. And she goes, there you go. She goes, by the way, are you using the red card or the black card? And I was like, wait, what? She's like, is your card, is it red or black? And I'm like, it's red. It's red, I think. And she's like, oh, that could also be why. And I was like, why? And she goes, because we discontinued those cards. Wait, what? Now take it. I don't often use the JCPenney's card. I only use it if the kids need clothes or something. So when she said that, I was like, wait, hold up. Wait, what? And she goes, yeah. She goes, you should have received a new card in December. I'm sorry, what? Now, take it. I've used the card 3 times since then, since December of last year. So I didn't know what she was talking about. And I was just like, what do you mean? And she's like, we sent you out a new card. Didn't you get it? Now, take it. I don't typically get mail. Not unless I get, like, packages from, like, subscribers or something. But typically, I don't get mail because everything is done online. So I don't really typically get a whole lot of mail. So I was like, no, I didn't receive anything in the mail. And she goes, okay, we're going to report your card stolen. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Nobody stole it. I just didn't get it. And I'm thinking of what happened was Mr. Coffee might have checked the mail that day, saw it, and then just threw it away because he thought it was like a statement or something. And of course, he don't want to see that. So I'm thinking that's what might have happened because he said he does usually, like, if he knows it's like a weird bill or like an advertisement or something, he'll just throw it in the trash. So I was like, oh, okay, well, that might have been my card that you threw away. So, yeah. So I guess now they have to send me out a whole new card and everything else. And I'm like, adulting is hard. I hate it here. So, yeah. Not us over here finishing another section on this piece. This piece is massive. This piece is going to take me quite some time to get through. So don't look for a finish anytime soon. You will see me working on other pieces because I really, really want to work on a round. I need to order some drills from Tmall to work on my fairy girl because she is a round and I would like to work on her. So I'm going to try to order some drills from Tmall, which if you don't know who Tmall is dpwithsparklers.com. She sells specialty drills, and she even has a section of her website where she tells you like what's a good place to enhance on your kit. And I always go to her whenever I need new drills. So like between her and Diamond Drills USA, those are my two go-to for like enhancements and regular drills. So I need to go see her for those before I can start my fairy girl, because I don't want to place drills down and then have to pick them up just to put down the new drills. I'd very much rather wait, and I'm probably going to do that afterwards. Today shouldn't be too busy though, because I just have to pick up the kids from school, and then I have to go over, and I really wish that my vet's office would allow me to do like a mail order of my dog's meds. So Daisy suffers from a condition called pannus, and this is a lifelong condition that she'll have, that I will have to like give her eye drops for the rest of her life, which isn't a big deal until I have to go pick up the meds every week. And then they started being nice enough to let me have 2 vials of her meds instead of just 1. So I now can go pick up 2. The problem is I have to go pick them up. So when I go pick up the kids from school today, I have to then swing across the other side of town and get the dog's meds. And then I should be able to rest for the rest of the day. So I'm going to try to take today to rest, because again, my asthma is acting up pretty bad, and I'm just glad I was able to at least get a whip and chat out to you guys. So thank you so much. Just bear with me if videos are, you know, a little thin until I can get this asthma stuff straightened out. I'm going to try my best to just kind of push through. But of course, I got to make sure I take care of myself as well, because I know that's what you guys would want. So I'm going to cut it short here. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them down in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to answer them as best as I possibly can. If you've made it to this far in the video, give me a thumbs up in the comments. Let's see how far people actually watch these whip and chats, because if I can cut them down a little bit so that they're a little bit more convenient for people to watch, I'd rather cut them down and maybe do 1 or 2 videos of whip and chats a week versus one long one. So let me know if you made it all the way to the end of this video. Do you prefer the 1-hour whip and chats, or would you much prefer a 30-minute whip and chat? Either one is convenient for me, so don't even worry about like, well, whatever you feel like doing. I feel like doing what you feel like doing, okay? So tell me down in the comments, do you like the 1-hour whip and chats, or should we cut them back by half an hour to see if it's a little bit more convenient and possibly get 2 whip and chats in 1 week instead of just 1? But with that said, I must now bid you adieu. But not before reminding you that it's hard out here in these crafty streets, so please stay safe. Always remember to be kind to others, because you never know what somebody else is going through. Be courteous, because it's the right thing to do. And always stay cool. And whether I see you in YouTube land or I see you in Twitch, either way, I'll see you when I see you. Bye, guys.